So welcome from my side to this blended seminar training course. It's lovely to be here, lovely to see some familiar faces and some new enthusiasts. Yeah, as said, we will spend this 20-25 minutes together on this presentation. And then, of course, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, whatever, I would be happy to discuss this with you through the end of this seminar. So this topic, the second topic, will be on infrastructure for digital youth work. And what we will look at in this, I figured that we should do something with like touch a little bit of a base on what digital youth work is and what digital youth work maybe isn't. Just a brief overview for some who might have missed the first session. And then maybe talk a little bit about competences, skills that are needed, because infrastructure, when we say infrastructure, when I say it, I don't really mean just the platforms, the apps, or the the computers, the tablets, but also human resources, your skills, your knowledge, everything, your time that you're putting into these things. And then I would like to touch base a little bit on how these infrastructures are connected with digital rights for young people and how we should be mindful of that and also include that in our strategies, in our practices. Then I would love to present our own little digital youth server, which we built during Corona time. Now it's named MZ It used to be named DGMC. And then maybe a little bit of sharing practices and examples, maybe some key lessons that we can take away. And then, of course, Q&A will be after. So feel free to comment already in the chat, but we will have a time to discuss later. So, but first of all, I would like to start with why me? Why have this digital systemic group or Cities of Learning decided to invite me on this lecture? So I'm a youth worker for more than 10 years. This is what I do. This is my passion. I tried to escape from it. It brought me back. And I started as a street youth worker, actually, in an organization here in Ljubljana. And then in Corona, it's like this, I started to notice that I have an interest on this digital work before, and I mentioned it previous times to our leadership, to the stakeholders, but they said, like, yeah, I don't know, this sounds like a hassle, and so nothing came of it. But then Corona started, and everybody was like, quickly, digital, let's get organized. So we started to do the research. We started our first tries on building something digital platforms, trying them out. So yeah, that's like my digital avatar now on Discord. This on the right is my team right now. So I asked ChatGPT to make us as like dragons, monsters, digimons. That's how we call ourselves. A digital picture from a course that we had. And as always, my passion is to help other people in this digital transformation. That's what I would say. So maybe a little bit of credentials. Why me, right? But we're not here to talk about me. We are here to talk about why digital youth work anyway. Like you will hear a lot of times, I'm sure you have heard, but we are doing it offline, face to face anyway. Why would we need that? Or someone would say, yeah, we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page. I believe that's completely enough, right? Why would we bother with more? To this, I say, I found this data that average teenage person in European Union spends 8 hours and 39 minutes online, whether it's on the computer, on the phone, on some apps, so between like 13 and 18. So my point would be like, they are already there, they are already online. it, whatever we do or have feelings towards it, we should, I believe, be present. Because if we are not present, imagine who else is present. Big tech companies, marketing, scammers, governments, whoever, and internet is a huge space. I'm not saying that everyone knows everything about everything, but I would say that youth workers have this mission that we should be somewhere where young people are, and not being like intrusive and invasive, but still be there, offer support, offer guidance, offer trainings, offer skill development, and that's why I believe it's also important that we are in this digital space with digital youth work, right? And then I gathered up some definitions. You probably talked about this already, but just a quick thing, what digital youth work actually is. And this one on the left is a big, broad, definition, covers everything. So the digital youth work means proactively using and addressing digital media and technology in youth work. So it has the same goals, same principles, same ethics as, offline youth work, and it can happen. So this is a huge one. It can happen face to face. So I mean, in real life, online, or in hybrid form. And then the one quote I also like, so I had to put it there. So it's like same ethics, same principles, new tools, right? And then when I was thinking, I was designing this. Actually, when going deeper, we are talking about 3 levels of digital youth work, or digital in general. So either we are on digital, meaning we are on the platform with young people doing something, or we are with digital, so meaning we are together, or we are in a hybrid setting, like streaming a concert maybe for someone, or doing something together on the computer, on the phone, on some app. They are teaching us maybe something, showing us something, or we are about digital. So maybe we are offering courses on programming, safety online, anti-scams, anti-corruption, something like that. So that's how I see this thing. It can be in 3 different levels, each holds the same importance as the other. But today, maybe for all intents and purposes, maybe we will focus the most on this one. So on digital or online, and we will look at some youth centers, build online, and stuff like that. So just a quick some examples of digital youth work as well, like what could this be? Connecting social media through social media, online, like counseling, support groups, stuff like that with youth workers. Fantastic ideas. I would be glad to share how we did it. Skill development, either with gaming, with VR, through talking, through chatting, video editing, whatever. Digital youth clubs, spaces, centers, right? Online youth participation, maybe it can be used, for some decision-making, group leading. Either you have something with young people, some projects that you need to do, and you can use some platforms online that for that, right? So that you can gather there, discuss, and of course, digital safety and well-being is a big part of digital youth work. But since I said before that, infrastructure doesn't just mean infrastructure as in hardware and platforms and apps. It also means infrastructure that you possess in your organization, or you as a youth worker, right? So, there need to be some competencies, right? So digital literacy is one for sure. Digital, but I'm not saying that everyone in your organization needs to know everything there is to know about digital, because you can't. There is no way. I don't know everything. You don't know everything. No one knows everything about the internet. But just like this curiosity feeling, that you're interested about stuff, that you're reading about stuff, that you're asking young people, what are they doing online? How are they doing it? Trying to, learn from them, asking questions, right? And of course, the basic digital literacy falls under that category. as well. And then, leading online activities, workshops can also have some of its challenges, right? Have you ever forgotten to unmute on some stuff, per se Zoom or some other stuff? So, or somebody else forgot to, and then you had to. So it has this, it's not quite the same. It has the same kind of ideas as face-to-face facilitation, but online facilitation also has different different things it requires, right? And then maybe some project management as well, like you're planning a youth exchange, you're planning something, activities in your youth center, and you decided that you will have a group online, and then you have to manage that as well. And of course, this knowing that it still has to be a safe space, and how we should also manage that, right? Because I would say here is when these digital rights also come in handy, because like there is a lot of young people that might be afraid of going to your youth center if you have one, but they can join online, or they have specific stuff that they are struggling with, facing with. Either it's LGBTQ, which are very big communities there, mental illnesses, fears of going out. They have addictions of gaming and stuff, and all of this has to be addressed, but it has to be created in a space that is safe for young people, because the last thing we really want to do, right, is invite them to a space where they will be even more bullied than before. So that is up to us, right? And so they have those digital rights. And once this AI also started, a lot of like bigger organizations and like United Nations also posted an article and declaration on how we should protect digital rights of young people. And I would invite you to search for that, to read through this, because it talks about how we should manage access to this, how we should protect their rights, their data, and how we should educate them. But we don't have that much time for that, so I will be moving on. And then we come to this like really infrastructure. And first thing we did when we were designing our digital center, we said like, okay, there is a lot of things out there, but the question is like, what do we want the platform to do for us, right? So do we want to chat? Do we want to have a voice channel? So speaking with each other, Do we want to also see each other, right? Do we want to be able to stream online, How easy should it be for other people to join? Should we have like here breakout rooms? Some people can see some stuff, some part of our center, and some people can't. In physical center, you have a storage room, you have your offices, so young people can't access everything, at once. So these were some of the main questions. How, that you also have to think about yourselves, like, what do we need? Write it down, and then maybe ask someone, consult with someone, ask the internet, ask ChatGPT, and then you will get this massive selection of things that we went through. But this was like in 2022, and then again now when we are like restructuring. But there is a lot of apps, platforms online, and which is the best? Do you know a lot of them? Do you know all of them? For example, this is something I'm playing with right now. It's called Gather Town, and it's like a virtual office, and it's nice. You are like this little character, and you are walking around the office, and once you are going to someone else's table, the cameras connect. So you can talk to each other, but once you leave, the cameras disconnect. You can play games, you can do stuff. It's also for co-working. It could be useful. Then previously, a lot of people were using Facebook groups as a meaning of kind of like sharing some stuff online. But then, young people don't use Facebook anymore. So that might be another thing, is it attractive for young people, right? some stuff that you might be using for facilitation, Google Classrooms, sharing stuff, sharing materials, or Padlet. Once you have Padlet or Miro, these are the like kind of Miro is like a whiteboard program, and Padlet is like sharing also like notes that you have. And then you have these apps that are more, like on here. I would say that one key distinction is also like, do you want to be in talking and interacting with your participants in real time or not, right? So say like you're posting something and they are seeing it, and then once they're seeing it, they are reacting to it. Or are you like we are right now, like on video cameras, so we are reacting even though we are in different parts of the world, we are reacting in real time, interacting, right? So, and then there is Discord. I don't know if you heard about this, but it's a very nice platform which was devised mainly for gamers, because a lot of games back then didn't have this integrated voice channels within the games. So you would hop onto Discord with your friends, connect on that, and then play some other video games while talking on Discord. And it has a lot of features, so we decided to put our youth center on there. And these are some things that, yeah, like I said, when choosing the right platform, you should think about what are you going to do there, or what is the purpose of your online communication with young people. So, and then again, once you can have like a perfectly goodly set up Facebook group or whatever, I'm just spitballing here, but but the young people are not coming. Why? Because they don't know how to use that platform. It's strange for them, like they're not gonna use that one. So maybe think about also what might be like some intersections. What are you still comfortable with, and what do young people still prefer and can join and know how to work around that platform, right? Also accessibility. This is connected again to digital rights for young people, but also inclusiveness. Does the platform uh, have the ability for everyone to join? Do you need like a high performing computer for that? Do you need a camera? Do you need do you need an email? Do you need, maybe for someone who doesn't see that well, is it possible to enhance the letters, the platform? Is it possible to this text, have this text reader included, right? And of course, is it safe? You know, can we really invite young people to a platform which we are not sure what they're doing with their data, even though a lot of these big tech companies and platforms will not really share with us what they're doing with their data anyway. But maybe do a little bit research on that. How protected is their data? And of course, it depends on the budget. I don't mean just the budget for the platform, which are mostly free. Nothing is really free, but let's say you don't have to pay to join. But then also, how much of a budget do you have for your hours, for maybe hiring some consultants, for hiring someone that will be doing some activities there with young people? And this also can affect um, how your choices, right? And then there is our digital youth center, which we started in Corona times, so 2020. It had its fifth birthday on 25th of March right now, and it started really developing when the coordinators of the physical youth centers during Corona had no way of being connected with young people. And so that's why we did the research. We opened this on Discord and immediately got some feedback, got some young people, firstly from our previous members, and then all over Ljubljana, and then all over Slovenia, and now also all over the world. At the best of times, it had, I think, around 900 registered users, not daily participants, but registered users, let's say. And already, you know, this is how it looked in the best of times. You know, a lot of people in different rooms. These are the people on the right, and this on the left. Sorry, and on the right is some people also talking, like typing. And the first I would like to share here how we tried, how we failed. The first thing we wanted to do, just a little funny thing, is we wanted to open so each youth center, that physical youth center, would have their own, you know, little room there, little channel that they would talk with their participants, right? And so that's how we started. But you know, as in physical centers, you know, it's really hard to move across town, you know, across different cities to be different. Online is just one click. So what happened? Young people were clicking all over. Also, the youth workers were clicking all over. So everybody was all over the place. So we said, like, okay, that might not be the best thing, how we should do it. So we started including young people in the decision making of how we're saying building it, how we should, you know, structure it, right? And so we decided we were gonna be by topics. So we had a bunch of topics like gaming, fantasy, role playing, um, creativity. We also had some fun games. We had a room where you could share your pet photos, where you could share your meals. Um, these are still existing online, and if you're very curious, you can contact us later, and I will give you like the proper tour. But for now, this would be impossible. But you know, this is how it looks now after a lot of rework, a lot of hours. And you know, I'm very proud that we are still going strong, still engaging with young people. Now we will also include a separate group of memberships for some youth centers, which will be connected through this platform. And yeah, I believe Discord could be a wonderful place for you, but it takes maybe a lot of time. Um, a lot of adjustments, a lot of consulting, and a lot of effort from youth workers as well. So maybe on this point, I think we're running a little late. Just quickly overview what is the key ingredients. We also talked about Slovenian umbrella company for all youth centers, and we set up some rules what a digital youth center needs to have in order that it can call itself really a digital youth center. So it has to be safe. It has to have some sort of moderation processes, so people checking messages, so you don't get any violent behaviors or inappropriate stuff being posted there. So it has to have clear rules. It has to have a participation from young people also, but it also has to have a professional included during sometimes. I'm not saying 24-hour present youth worker, right? It also has to be inclusive, so everybody has to be welcome, and everything mostly here has to be free. That was our idea. And what it really helped us is also different partnerships, so connecting with other professionals, NGOs, schools, you know, to say like, okay, we can offer this for your young people. Maybe you can offer something as well. Maybe you're already doing something that you would like to present on our digital youth center. So that might be a very nice, you know, partnership, collaboration with other youth clubs, youth centers, youth organizations as well. So maybe to conclude, some key lessons I would like you to take away, so that digital youth work is a purpose-driven youth work and not just online chatter. Agree 100%. It's not just typing a little bit online, it's putting the work in, putting the emphasis, trying to offer something new, exciting for young people. Also, possibly that they can try some new stuff and that it's free. So, once you're choosing this platform, you must do some research. It must pass through some lenses in order that could be successful. it needs to be co-designed with young people. Otherwise, it's probably doomed to fail. Really put some thoughts and emphasis on inclusion and also respecting young people's digital rights and privacy. And as I really encourage you, explore, Google, ask ChatGPT, ask your coworkers, consult with other people. Don't be afraid to explore, to play around a little bit with this, and hopefully find some answers that are, okay, that you're okay with, your organization is okay with, and that young people could use. Here I included also some resources, this digital youth work as well. And so thank you very much.